takes no position on the substance of the issues that are being discussed this morning, but more around the constitutional aspects of them and the mechanics of how they should be dealt with under the Constitution.
I remind you of our mission to preserve, to protect and to defend our heritage, our Australian constitutional system, the role of the Australian Crown in the system, and our flag. And we've kept to that. That's our brief, our narrow brief, and we wish to maintain that. ACM was born, as you know, in 1992. The charter was written by Michael Kirby. Lloyd Waddy was the first national convener. Tony Abbott became the first executive director and went on to a glittering career after that. And Kerry Jones was our second executive director. The Republicans often talk about passion. Republicans always say they're passionate Republicans. Monarchists don't usually claim to be passionate, but when it counts, we come out. And there's the crowd in Macquarie Street at the time of the protests against the expulsion of the governor from Government House by the Republican Carr government. It was an enormous demonstration, the biggest peaceful non-trade union demonstration that Macquarie Street, I think, had ever seen. Bob Hawke, during the course of the debate, made a very telling admission. He said that the monarchists had won the intellectual argument. I think that's true, and we intend to stay there. We intend to, and I hope I can demonstrate that in the debate today. We have the intellectual and academic high ground in relation to the defence of the monarchy, what we need to do, and I think we did it very well in the referendum, Kerry Jones in particular. We need to explain that to the people, and we did that through a series, I think, of quite brilliant slogans. They weren't just those empty slogans that the political parties go on with. Those slogans represented the essential arguments of our case. The law, as you know, was a proposed law. That was the bill, the question which the Republicans settled, and the Republicans agreed to in Parliament. 2/3 of the Parliament were all Republicans. That was the question which went to the referendum. Of course, when they lost the referendum, they said that John Howard rigged the question. He couldn't possibly have rigged the question because they passed it. They agreed to it. It was, as John Howard said to me, it was their question, the one they wanted. I won't go over the structure of ACM. I won't go over the no case because you'll hear more about that this morning. But the no case, I think, was very cleverly devised, and it came to 10 points. And we set it out beautifully. We set it out beautifully in the yes-no booklet. The Republicans were taken. They didn't realize that we would set it out so well, so in such style, and that we would use all of our words. The Republicans only used half of their words, so that when you got to a certain page, on one side was our argument, on the other side was a blank page saying the yes case ended at page such and such. And of course, remember the 6th of November 1999, that was the function. We had to hold the function down in the Convention Centre because the Republicans, including the Lord Mayor Sartor, refused to allow us to use our traditional place, the Town Hall, although it wasn't being used for anything else. You might remember the New South Wales, the City Council at that time, put banners around the city saying, vote yes, using ratepayers' money for a federal matter. Our strategies are to maintain the organisation, to make media comment, to push the head of state argument, which is essential, to oppose a plebiscite and to support the flag. We have an educational role, and I won't go over the rest of that because I don't want to waste time. Last year, highlight of last year, it was Senator Dean Smith, who's the head of the organisation. It's a parliamentary group in support of constitutional monarchy, and they held an ecumenical service in Canberra on the 10th of September 2015. In many ways, that was the highlight of last year. And another highlight of last year was a meeting of monarchist groups at our national conference. We invited all of those still in existence who were at the convention. There was ourselves, Queenslanders for Constitutional Monarchy, the Australian Monarchist League, and the Monarchist League of Australia Victorian chapter, and the Christian Democrats. The Christian Democrats were the only party to contest the convention election and to come as monarchists. So those 5 groups met together, and we agreed a united front, and that was our need to be vigilant, particularly in relation to the arrival of a Republican Prime Minister, to be vigilant in relation to the arguments, but to note that the Republicans have fallen back completely to the same argument they used eventually in the referendum. And you'll find it 9 times in the yes part of the yes-no booklet, and that is that Australia can only have a head of state who is Australian in a republic. To get an Australian head of state, you need to have a republic. We, of course, have always argued that we do have an Australian head of state, and that is the Governor-General. And all monarchist groups agreed on that, and a resolution to that effect was passed by the 5 monarchist groups, which suggests that things will go very well on the monarchist side if there is the need to go to a referendum, go to a plebiscite or a convention again. The other matter that I should refer to you to is a recent development, and that is the Tasmanian Governor. The Tasmanian Governor, Professor Warner, has unfortunately entered into politics, which she should not. She went to a rally for refugees, and at the rally she condemned Senator Hanson and said that Senator Hanson was racist and that Australians should not support her. No governor, of course, should ever do this. The Crown must be above politics. That's an essential feature of the constitutional system. And Senator Burston, who's coming to the conference, who's a New South Wales senator, has made a statement on that and has written indeed to the Queen about it as well, asking Her Majesty to intervene. So that's all I wish to say at this point, but as I say, there will be much more said today. But thank you very much for coming, and I'll call on Joe.